Russia isn't the only challenge for Joe Biden. The US president is struggling in West Asia too. After an initial snub, Biden now wants to work with Saudi Arabia. His administration has approved a weapons deal. It's worth $650 million. This is Biden's first major weapons agreement with Saudi Arabia. Riyadh is buying air-to-air missiles from the US. Months ago, this deal would have been a long shot, as President Biden ended US support for Saudi Arabia's operations in Yemen. This put an end to any arms sales connected with this offensive, the one in Yemen led by Saudi Arabia. But Team Biden seems to have had a rethink since then. Earlier, it okayed a $500 million deal. This was for the maintenance of American helicopters that Saudi Arabia owns. And now the US is willing to sell advanced weapons. What could be the reason behind this rethink? A former intelligence chief of Saudi Arabia has made an assessment. His name is Prince Turki bin Faisal Al Saud, and he believes the United States is losing influence across West Asia. The setbacks in Iran and Afghanistan are hurting the US. The Saudi prince believes that American troop withdrawals caused quote-unquote strategic confusion. America has been the dominant power in West Asia for more than 2 decades now, but now there are doubts about how much influence they have. Key players doubt whether America is a steady partner in the region. So Joe Biden is now trying to rebuild trust, undo the damage he did. Last week, American jets were seen on a mission. US partners like Bahrain, Egypt, Israel, and Saudi Arabia were a part of this. Together, they flew over key maritime checkpoints in West Asia, like the Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil passes through here, and this is an area controlled largely by Iran. They also flew over the Red Sea and Egypt-Suez Canal. Tensions have been high in all of these waters. Ships have been targeted in the Strait of Hormuz. American and Iranian vessels have faced off there. The Red Sea is witnessing a shadow war between Tehran and Israel. So America sent a bomber to these locations. Fighter jets from the West Asian partners escorted this bomber. Such flyovers were frequent during the Trump administration. It's like an act of reassurance for allies, also a show of force to Iran. Joe Biden has been in power for almost a year now. One of his signature promises was to revive the Iran nuclear deal. It hasn't happened yet. In fact, tensions have only escalated between Washington and Tehran. At the climate summit, the US president vowed to respond to Iran's actions, including drone strikes. Doesn't sound good. The threat of a military escalation seems to be working. Tehran has decided to return to the negotiating table.
Clear that Iran's continued nuclear escalations are unconstructive, that they are inconsistent with the stated goal that Iran has put forward of seeking to return to mutual compliance with the JCPOA. We've also been very clear that Iran's nuclear provocations and escalations won't provide Iran with any additional negotiating leverage when talks resume.
So the talks are on again, but to keep them on track, the US president needs help. And that's why he's rebuilding ties with the Saudis, with the hope that military pressure can reign in Tehran. Will the strategy work? Well, we'll keep track. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.